The colony ship Horizon glided through space toward the blue-green planet. Commander Alan Rogers stood on the bridge, hands clasped behind his back. After 2 years of travel, they had finally reached Eden. "Beautiful, isn't it?" he said to Dr. Olivia Martinez, who studied her screens with focused attention. "Yes, but I'm picking up some strange energy readings," Olivia replied. Her dark hair was pulled back in a practical ponytail as she tapped at her console. "Nothing in our surveys showed this." Alan leaned forward. "Dangerous?" "Not sure yet. Could be natural phenomena we didn't detect from Earth." The Horizon carried 500 colonists, farmers, engineers, scientists, teachers, and families looking for a fresh start. This was humanity's 12th colony beyond the solar system. Earth's expansion initiative had carefully selected this planet for its Earth-like qualities. "We're being hailed," said Frank Miller at Communications. He was a young man with bright eyes who had joined the colony mission to escape city life on Earth. Alan straightened his uniform. On screen. The view screen filled with the image of an alien. It had purple-gray skin, 4 eyes positioned in a diamond pattern, and no visible nose. Its mouth moved strangely as it spoke, the translation coming through a second later. "Human vessel, this is Captain Kexthul of the Vexari Confederacy. You have entered claimed territory. State your purpose immediately." Alan glanced at his second-in-command, Nancy Wells, whose hand instinctively moved toward the weapons console. "This is Commander Alan Rogers of the Earth colony ship Horizon. We're on a peaceful mission to settle the planet designated Eden. Our records show this system as unclaimed." The alien made a clicking sound. "Your records are incorrect. The Vexari claimed this system 2 of your Earth years ago. You will leave immediately." Alan frowned. 2 years ago, right when they had left Earth. The timing was suspicious. "Captain Kexthul, our colonists have traveled for 2 years. We have official registration documents from the Galactic Council marking this planet for human settlement." The alien's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. "Send these documents for review." Nancy whispered, "Sir, they're scanning us." Alan nodded but kept his eyes on the alien captain. "Frank, transmit our registration papers." Then louder, "We're sending them now, Captain. We wish no conflict with the Vexari." Minutes passed in tense silence. The bridge crew exchanged nervous glances. 500 lives depended on what happened next. The alien returned to the screen, eyes narrowed. "Your documents appear genuine, but there seems to be a bureaucratic error. More concerning is what our scans reveal. You claim to be peaceful colonists, yet your ship carries multiple weapon systems, point defense lasers, and what appear to be surface-to-orbit missile launchers." "Standard equipment for colony ships," Alan replied calmly. "Space is dangerous. We need to protect our people." "Protect from what?" "This sector has been peaceful for centuries," Kexthul said, voice rising. "No peaceful colonization requires such armaments." Alan smiled thinly. "Human history suggests otherwise. We come in peace, but we come prepared." The alien captain seemed disturbed by this statement. "We detect 500 humans aboard. How many are military personnel?" "None currently serving," Alan said carefully. "We're farmers, teachers, engineers, families with children." "Yet you are armed like a warship," Kexthul stated flatly. Nancy whispered again. "Sir, they've moved their ships to surround us." 3 vessels light cruiser class. Alan nodded subtly. "Captain Kexthul, we intend to land on Eden as planned. We registered this planet properly. If there's a dispute, we can contact the Galactic Council together. But my people need to stretch their legs on real ground after 2 years in space." The alien captain's skin darkened slightly. "We will allow a temporary landing while we investigate this registration discrepancy. But be warned, any sign of aggression and we will respond with force. We will maintain our position in orbit." "Understood. We appreciate your flexibility." When the communication ended, the bridge exploded into worried conversation. "They're lying about when they claimed this system," Nancy said. Alan nodded. "Probably. But we need to land. Tell the colonists to prepare for touchdown, and quietly bring all defense systems to standby." We're peaceful colonists, but that doesn't mean we're helpless. The horizon began its descent toward Eden, the 3 Vexari ships watching nervously as the heavily armed peaceful colony ship disappeared into the atmosphere below. The sun rose over Eden's rolling hills as Sam Baker checked his hydroponic farm systems. 3 weeks had passed since landing, and the colony was taking shape. Prefabricated buildings dotted the valley floor, connected by newly formed paths. In the distance, the horizon stood tall, half emptied of its cargo but still serving as the colony's heart. Plants are growing 30% faster than expected, Sam told Lisa Jones as she walked by on her morning security check. Something in the soil here really works with earth crops. Lisa nodded, but her eyes remained on the sky. That's great. Still 3 ships up there watching us? Yep. Nancy counted them during night shift. Lisa frowned. The former military officer had taken the role of colony security chief, though she rarely spoke about her past. She was tall with short brown hair and always seemed to notice things others missed. I don't like it, she said. They're rotating crews but never leaving. Commander Rogers says the Galactic Council is still reviewing our claim. Sam shrugged his broad shoulders. Nothing we can do except build our home. A crowd gathered near, the center of the settlement where Benjamin Wright was setting up the colony's school. The young teacher had arranged desks in a circle under a large tent. Education continues even at the edge of space, Benjamin announced to parents and children. Classes start tomorrow. We'll begin with Eden's geography and climate. Commander Rogers and Dr. Martinez walked through the colony, stopping to speak with settlers. Their path took them to the edge of camp where security sensors were being installed. The Vexari ambassador demands to know why we're setting up perimeter defenses, Alan said quietly. Olivia adjusted her glasses. Did you tell him about the large predators our drones spotted in the eastern forest? Yes, but he didn't believe me. Says their surveys showed no dangerous wildlife. Their surveys were clearly incomplete. Olivia pointed to her tablet. Look what we found yesterday. Alan studied the screen showing images of ruins partially buried beneath a hillside 2 miles from the colony. Strange markings covered stone, walls that had clearly been made by intelligent beings. Have you dated them? He asked. At least 5,000 years old. And there's something else. She swiped to another image showing a metal door with a complex locking mechanism. We detected energy signatures coming from inside. Very faint, but definitely active. Alan rubbed his chin. Don't tell the Vexari yet. They're already nervous enough about us. As they spoke, a small shuttle descended from the sky, landing at the designated landing pad. Lisa Jones immediately moved toward it, hand resting on her sidearm. The shuttle door opened and a Vexari stepped out. Unlike Captain Kexthul, this alien was smaller with lighter purple skin. I am Zivtok, scientific observer, the alien said through a translator device. I request meeting with your science leader. Olivia stepped forward. I'm Dr. Martinez, chief scientist. What can I help you with? The alien's 4 eyes blinked rapidly. My superiors sent me to observe your settlement activities. They are concerned about your defensive installations. They're for wildlife protection, Lisa cut in. Unless your people have other plans we should worry about? Zivtok's skin color shifted slightly. No threats from us, but unusual energy readings from your colony attracted attention. Olivia and Alan exchanged quick glances. The energy readings must be from the ruins, not their equipment. Just standard colony setup, Alan said smoothly. We're happy to show you around the public areas. As they walked, Zivtok asked many questions about Earth. The alien seemed genuinely curious, especially about human history. Your species survived many wars, yes? This explains the weapons? We learned hard lessons, Alan replied. Peace is our goal, but we never forget to protect ourselves. Later that evening, as the purple sunset painted Eden's sky, Benjamin gathered colonists to record their first month's progress. History will remember us as Eden's first human settlement, he said as people shared meals together. Let's make sure it's a history of success. Above them, the Vexari ships continued their silent watch, lights blinking in the growing darkness. And deep beneath the nearby hills, Ancient machinery hummed with energy for the first time in thousands of years. 6 months passed. Eden's colony flourished with crops growing and new buildings rising each week. Commander Rogers now sat in a simple office inside the colony's headquarters, watching a transmission from Earth. The screen showed Ambassador William Carter addressing the Galactic Council. The old diplomat stood alone at a curved podium, facing rows of alien representatives in a vast chamber. William's gray hair and lined face showed his 60 years, but his voice was strong. Humanity seeks only peaceful coexistence, William said to the gathered aliens. Our colony on Eden poses no threat to the Vexari Confederacy or any other species. The Vexari representative, a large female with dark purple skin, stood up. Then explain why Earth colonists bring weapons meant for war. Explain why your farmers have military training. Explain why you build defensive systems on every new world you touch. William smiled patiently. Earth's history taught us painful lessons. We learned that peaceful intentions must be backed by the ability to defend ourselves. The transmission split to show other human colonies across the galaxy. Each faced similar situations, alien fleets watching nervously as human settlements expanded. A tall, insect-like alien rose next. The Ordari Imperium has observed human colonies near our space. Their weaponry exceeds what is necessary for defense against wildlife or pirates. We believe humans prepare for war while speaking of peace. Alan sighed and paused the transmission. Dr. Martinez entered his office looking excited. The ruins, she said without greeting. We've translated some of the writing. The civilization called themselves the Arathi. They were wiped out in a war. With whom? Alan asked. We're not sure yet. But here's something interesting. The Vexari scientist, Zivtok, asked to help with the translation. He seems genuinely curious, not just spying on us. Alan nodded slowly. Be careful what you share. The Vexari fleet above us has doubled in size this month. He resumed the transmission. The council chamber had grown louder, with multiple aliens, speaking at once. Order, called the council leader, a tall gray being with elongated limbs. Ambassador Carter will respond to these concerns. William stood straight. Throughout human history, peaceful people who could not defend themselves were conquered or destroyed. We colonize uninhabited worlds. We trade fairly. We respect boundaries. But yes, we remain armed and ready to protect our people. A new alien stood, orange-skinned with 4 arms. The Ordari have offered us technology in exchange for allowing their ships near human colonies. They say humans are dangerous and must be contained. Alan turned off the screen and looked at Olivia. The Ordari, they're trying to turn the council against us. Outside, Eden's afternoon brought a cool breeze across the settlement. Sam Baker adjusted the water flow to his crops while Lisa Jones trained a group of colonists. Everyone in this colony should know basic defense, Lisa told the group of farmers and technicians. Not because we want war, but because we must be ready if it comes to us. The colonists practiced with simple weapons, stun batons and short-range pulse rifles. Most had received basic training before leaving Earth, but Lisa insisted on regular practice. Near the edge of the colony, Benjamin Wright led a group of children on a nature walk, teaching them about Eden's plants and animals. The children laughed and collected samples for the colony's growing database. Above them, a new ship joined the Vexari fleet, larger and more heavily armed than the others. Through binoculars, Lisa could see it was not Vexari design. That's an Ordari warship, she told Alan when he joined her at the observation post. They're not even trying to hide their interest in us. The council meeting isn't going well, Alan replied. The Ordari are pushing for restrictions on human colonies. Lisa's eyes narrowed. They won't just watch forever. Sooner or later they'll want to see if we're as dangerous as they fear. As night fell over Eden, the lights of the alien ships formed new constellations in the sky. In his private quarters, Zivtok, the Vexari scientist, sent a coded message to someone, not his superiors, but to a contact in the Ordari fleet. The game was more complex than the human colonists realized. the morning sky filled with ships. Alan counted 12 Vexari vessels and the large Ordari warship that had arrived the previous week. The colony's alert system beeped softly, tracking each vessel's position. "They're moving closer to planetary orbit," Nancy reported in the command center. Screens showed the alien ship's formations changing. "They've never come this close before." Alan tapped his communicator. "Lisa, bring security to level 2. Nothing obvious, but have teams ready." "Already on it," Lisa responded. "The farmers are carrying sidearms, and I've got people at each defense point." Eden had changed over the past 8 months. The colony now had proper buildings, growing fields, and a small medical center. Children played in a park near the school where Benjamin taught daily classes. On the surface, it looked like any peaceful settlement. Sam Baker walked between rows of corn, checking each plant carefully. His hands were rough from farm work, but they moved gently among the crops. A small device at his belt blinked yellow, the colony's alert signal. Without changing his pace, Sam touched the device twice to acknowledge. Then he casually picked up a bag of tools that wasn't just tools. The colony's main square buzzed with activity. People moved purposefully, but no one ran or showed panic. Years of training before leaving Earth had prepared them for this moment. "Incoming. Transmission," Frank called from communications. "It's not the Vexari, it's the Ordari ship." The screen lit up showing an Ordari commander. The alien's orange skin gleamed under bright lights and all 4 arms moved in complex patterns as it spoke. "Human colony, I am Fleet Commander Drex of the Ordari Imperium. We have received reports of weapons manufacturing on your settlement. This violates Galactic Council prohibitions." Alan stood tall before the camera. "Commander Drex, we manufacture tools and equipment for colony use. Nothing that violates Council regulations." The Ordari's upper arms crossed. "Our scans indicate otherwise. Prepare to receive an inspection team. You have 1 hour to arrange access." The screen went dark. Alan immediately called a leadership meeting. "They have no right to inspect us," Lisa argued in the small conference room. "The Council hasn't approved any restrictions on us yet." Olivia looked worried. "What about the underground facility? The manufacturing area?" Since month 3, the colonists had converted part of the ancient ruins into a production facility. They built replacement parts for equipment, but also improved defensive weapons. The facility was hidden beneath a hillside half a mile from the main settlement. "They must not find it," Alan decided. "We'll let them inspect the main colony, but keep them away from the hillside," Sam spoke up. "My farming drones can create a distraction if needed. They're programmed for more than just watering crops." Alan nodded. "Good. Benjamin, make sure all the children stay in the school during the inspection." As they planned, a small Vexari shuttle landed near the colony. Zivtok stepped out looking agitated. The 4-eyed alien hurried toward the command center. "I must speak with Dr. Martinez," he said to the guards. "It is urgent." Olivia met him outside. "What's wrong?" "The Ordari," Zivtok whispered. "They are not here for inspection. My sources say they search for ancient weapons. They believe the Arathi built something powerful here." Olivia's eyes widened. "The energy signatures in the ruins." "Yes. The Ordari destroyed the Arathi civilization thousands of years ago. They fear the Arathi left weapons that humans might find." Before Olivia could respond, alarms sounded throughout the colony. Above them, the Ordari ship fired on one of the Vexari vessels. The sky lit up with weapons fire. "It's starting," Lisa said, joining them with a rifle in her hands. "The Ordari aren't waiting for inspection. They're creating an excuse to attack." Colony defense systems activated automatically. Hidden turrets emerged from seemingly innocent structures. Farmers dropped their tools and moved to defensive positions. Children were quickly guided to underground shelters. The peaceful human colony transformed into a fortress in less than 5 minutes. Inside the command center, Alan opened a secure channel to all colonists. "This is not a drill. Defensive positions only. Remember, we protect our home." The first Ordari landing craft descended through Eden's atmosphere. Weapons fire from their ships had created a distraction, targeting Vexari vessels while ground forces deployed. 3 ships landed in a triangle around the human settlement. Inside, the colony's command center, Alan watched the tactical display. "They're trying to surround us," he said to Lisa and the defense team. "Classic encirclement." Lisa pointed to the screen. "They don't realize our defense perimeter extends 2 miles, in every direction. They're landing right on top of our sensor grid." Outside, Sam Baker crouched behind a modified harvester at the edge of his fields. The farming machine now bristled with hidden weapons. 6 other farmers took positions nearby, their work clothes, concealing body armor. "Remember," Sam told them through his communicator, "we're not soldiers, but we protect our home. Wait for my signal." Across the colony, similar scenes played out. The schoolteacher Benjamin led children and some parents into underground shelters beneath the colony's main buildings. The shelters had been built during the first month, disguised as storage areas. "Everyone stay calm," Benjamin said to the frightened faces. "This is why we practice those drills. The colony's defenses will hold." A small girl named Emma clutched her stuffed toy. "Are the aliens going to hurt us?" Benjamin knelt beside her. "No, they won't get the chance. Our people won't let them." Dr. Martinez and Zivtok hurried toward the ancient ruins. The Vexari scientist moved quickly despite the chaos, leading Olivia through a hidden path. "The Arathi defense system must be fully activated," Zivtok explained. "I have studied the symbols. It is not just a weapon, it is a shield." Olivia glanced back as explosions echoed from the colony. "How did you know about this? Why help us?" Zivtok's 4 eyes blinked rapidly. "The Ordari destroyed my ancestors' colony too long ago. They take what they want, claim territory that is not theirs. The Vexari leadership is too afraid to stand against them." The first group of Ordari soldiers reached the colony's edge. They moved with forearmed precision, weapons ready. Their orange armor gleamed in Eden's sunlight. They expected light resistance from civilian colonists. They were wrong. The ground, beneath the first squad, exploded upward. Carefully placed charges sent the aliens tumbling. Then Sam's harvester roared to life, its cutting blades replaced with defense weapons. Pulse fire erupted from positions that had looked like simple irrigation equipment. "Sector 1 engaged," Sam reported through his comm. "They're falling back to regroup." On the opposite side of the colony, Lisa led a team of 10 colonists against the second Ordari landing party. Her people wore simple farming clothes but moved with military precision. "These humans fight like warriors," an Ordari soldier transmitted to his commander. "They have military training." In orbit, the Vexari ships regrouped after the surprise attack. Captain Kexthul's vessel moved to protect the planet from further Ordari landings. "The humans defend themselves with unexpected skill," Kexthul told his crew. "We must prevent more Ordari troops from reaching the surface." In the colony command center, Alan received reports from all sectors. Every colonist knew their role. Farmers became infantry. Engineers operated defense systems. Medical staff prepared for casualties. Nancy worked the communications station. "Sir, we're receiving a transmission from the Ordari command ship." The screen showed Fleet Commander Drex, his orange face twisted with anger. "Human colony, surrender immediately. Your resistance proves you are a military installation disguised as civilians." Alan stood calmly before the camera. "We are not military. We are colonists protecting our home. Every human learns to defend what they love." "Impossible. Your tactics are too organized. Your weapons too advanced." Alan smiled slightly. "Commander Drex, humans learned through thousands of years of warfare that peace is precious. But peace doesn't mean defenseless. We farm, we build, we teach our children, and we protect what is ours." At the ancient ruins, Olivia and Zivtok reached the central chamber. Strange symbols glowed on the walls as they approached a control panel. "The Arathi left this for someone worthy to find," Zivtok said. "Someone who would use it to protect, not conquer." Olivia placed her hand on the panel. The entire chamber hummed with power that had waited 5,000 years to be awakened. Above them, the sky of Eden began to change, a shimmering dome of energy, spread across the sky above Eden. It started as a small point of light above the ancient ruins, then expanded rapidly to cover the entire colony and several miles beyond. The dome glowed with a soft blue light that grew stronger where Ordari weapons struck it. In orbit, Fleet Commander Drex watched in disbelief as his ship's weapons failed to penetrate the shield. "Impossible!" he shouted at his science officer. "The Arathi defenses were destroyed. We made sure of it thousands of years ago." On the ground, the fighting continued. Sam's farming team had pushed back one Ordari squad, but more enemy troops were regrouping. The human colonists used their knowledge of the terrain to their advantage, striking quickly, then moving to new positions. "Keep mobile," Sam told his people through the comm system. "Don't let them pin you down." Lisa's team engaged in close combat with Ordari soldiers near the eastern perimeter. The alien warriors were surprised by the human skill. Every colonist had completed basic defense training before leaving Earth. Many, like Lisa, had military backgrounds before becoming colonists. "These are just farmers," an Ordari squad leader complained to his commander. "How do they fight like elite troops?" Inside the command center, Alan received an unexpected transmission. Captain Kexthul of the Vexari appeared on screen. "Commander Rogers, we have intercepted Ordari communications. This attack was planned months ago. The inspection demand was merely a pretext." Alan nodded grimly. "We suspected as much. Will your ships assist us?" Kexthul hesitated. "The Ordari are powerful. The Vexari Council fears them. And yet here you are warning us," Alan observed. "Not all Vexari agree with our leadership's caution. We believe in standing against aggressors." At that moment, Nancy called out from her station. "Sir, new ships entering the system. Earth vessels." The tactical display showed 3 ships dropping out of faster-than-light travel. They were Earth diplomatic vessels, but Alan knew from experience that Earth never sent diplomats unprotected. At the ancient ruins, Olivia worked frantically to understand the Arathi control systems while Zivtok translated symbols. "The shield is holding," she said, checking readings on her tablet. "But there's more to this system than just defense." Zivtok pointed to a series of symbols. "This section speaks of judgment and revealing truth. I believe the Arathi built this not just to protect but to expose deception." An alarm sounded on Olivia's tablet. "The Ordari have found the entrance to the ruins. We need more time." Outside the ruins, a squad of Ordari soldiers approached cautiously. They carried heavy weapons and moved with practiced skill. Suddenly, from the trees nearby, Benjamin and 3 other teachers emerged armed with colony defense weapons. "Stop right there," Benjamin called out, his voice steady despite his racing heart. "This area is under colony protection." The Ordari commander laughed. "A school teacher with a gun? Step aside or die." Benjamin didn't flinch. "I teach history. The history of Earth includes many wars where ordinary people stood against tyrants. We prefer peace, but we know how to fight." Before the Ordari could respond, the ground shook beneath them. The energy dome pulsed with increasing brightness. In the colony's underground shelter, young Emma felt the vibration. "What's happening?" she asked, clutching her toy tighter. An older colonist named Joe patted her shoulder. "It's okay. That's the planet helping us." In orbit, the Earthships took positions between the colony and the Ordari fleet. Their captain, Diane Parker, opened communications to all vessels in the system. "This is Captain Parker of the Earth diplomatic vessel Concord. By authority of Earth Government and Galactic Council Directive 47B, I am here to mediate this conflict." Fleet Commander Drex responded angrily. "There is nothing to mediate. The humans have activated Arathi weapons in violation of Council regulations." "Interesting," Captain Parker replied calmly. "Our records show no regulations regarding Arathi technology, perhaps because the Ordari never reported finding it." At that moment, the energy dome covering Eden pulsed again, and a beam of light shot upward from the ruins. It struck the Ordari command ship, not damaging it but enveloping it in light. Then, across all communication channels, in all languages, a message broadcast from the Arathi system. Truth Protocol activated, displaying historical records of Ordari, actions in this sector. The stunning revelation was about to change everything. Images filled the sky above Eden. The energy dome became a massive display showing scenes from thousands of years ago. Everyone on the planet and in orbit watched as the truth unfolded. The images showed Arathi cities, beautiful structures of crystal and stone. Then came Ordari ships, not as explorers but as conquerors. The peaceful Arathi fell quickly, their civilization unprepared for war. The Ordari took their technology, destroyed their records, and claimed their worlds. This is ancient history. Fleet Commander Drex protested over the communication channels. It has no bearing on current events. But the images continued, showing more recent events. Ordari ships attacking other peaceful species, secret meetings where Ordari leaders planned to turn other species against humans. A recording of Drex himself speaking to his officers before reaching Eden. The humans must not access the Arathi technology, Drex's image said. Their defensive capabilities already concern us. With Arathi knowledge, they could resist Ordari expansion, create any excuse to destroy their colony. In the colony command center, Alan watched grimly. "Send these transmissions to the Galactic Council," he told Nancy. "They need to see what we're dealing with." Outside, the fighting slowed as both sides watched the revelations. Some Ordari soldiers lowered their weapons, confused by what they were seeing. At the ruins, Olivia and Zivtok continued working with the Arathi controls. The system responded to their touch as if it had been waiting for this moment. The Arathi weren't warriors, Zivtok explained, reading symbols on a newly activated panel. They believed truth was the strongest weapon. This system doesn't just defend, it reveals. Olivia nodded. That's why the Ordari feared us finding it. Not because it could destroy them, but because it could expose them. In orbit, Captain Parker's diplomatic vessel moved closer to the Ordari command ship. Fleet Commander Drex, in light of these revelations, the Galactic Council has granted emergency authority to Earth forces to protect Eden Colony. From the edge of the system, more ships appeared, Earth defense vessels, their weapons ready, but not yet active. On the ground, the Ordari soldiers were retreating to their landing craft. With their true intentions exposed, they no longer had any legitimate reason to attack the colony. Sam's team watched from the fields as the enemy pulled back. "Should we pursue?" one of the farmers asked. Sam shook his head. "We defend our home. We don't seek revenge." Lisa's security team secured the colony perimeter, treating wounded from both sides. Among her people, only 3 had minor injuries, a testament to their preparation and training. Benjamin emerged from the ruins with the other teachers, meeting Alan as he arrived with a security team. "The children are safe," Benjamin reported. "And I think we just witnessed one of the most important history lessons ever." Inside the main shelter, the colonists watched the sky display with awe. Young Emma pointed upward. "Look, the aliens are leaving." The Ordari ships were indeed retreating, pushed back by the combined presence of Earth vessels and Vexari ships that had chosen to stand with the humans. In the command center, Captain Parker spoke with Alan over the comm. "The Galactic Council is in emergency session. The Ordari representatives are facing serious questions about what we've all witnessed." Alan nodded. "And the colony's status? Officially recognized with full rights to Eden. The Council was particularly impressed by how your people defended themselves without escalating to unnecessary violence." As evening fell, the colonists emerged from shelters and defensive positions. The energy dome still shimmered above them, but softer now, protective rather than threatening. Dr. Martinez and Zivtok joined the colony leaders in the command center. "The Arathi system is stable," Olivia reported. "It will continue to protect Eden. And there's more," Zivtok added, his 4 eyes blinking with excitement. "The database contains Arathi knowledge, science, culture, philosophy. They wanted it preserved for worthy successors." Alan looked around at the gathered colonists, farmers, teachers, engineers, and families who had traveled across space seeking new homes. People who wanted peace but prepared for defense. "I think," he said quietly, "the Arathi would approve of who found their legacy." Above them, the last Ordari ships vanished from Eden's sky. But the Vexari remained, no longer watching with suspicion, but with growing respect. 1 year after the Ordari attack, Eden Colony had doubled in size. New buildings spread across the valley, farms expanded, and children played freely under clear blue skies. The energy dome remained, visible only as a slight shimmer when sunlight hit it just right. In the colony square, residents gathered for the first anniversary celebration. Tables filled with food from Eden's farms lined the edges. Music played. As people danced and talked, Commander Alan Rogers stood on a small platform watching his community with pride. Who would have thought a year ago that we'd be celebrating with guests from across the galaxy? He said to Nancy as she joined him. Near the food tables, Sam Baker showed Vexari visitors how Earth plants had adapted to Eden's soil. The corn grows twice as tall here, he explained, and these tomatoes are sweeter than any on Earth. Captain Kex Thul, now the official Vexari ambassador to Eden, examined the vegetables with all 4 eyes wide. Your people grow food instead of synthesizing it. Fascinating. Lisa Jones led a training session at the edge of the square, where Vexari security personnel practiced human defense techniques. Balance is key, she demonstrated. Even with 4 arms, you need a strong center. The alliance between humans and Vexari had grown strong since the Ordari retreat. Both species discovered they had much to learn from each other. Benjamin's school had expanded to include young Vexari, studying alongside human children. Today they performed a play about the colony's founding, with kids from both species acting together. And so the peaceful colonists protected their new home. Young Emma narrated as the play ended, not because they wanted war, but because they valued peace enough to defend it. The audience applauded. Vexari clapped with all 4 hands, creating twice the noise. Near the ancient ruins, now partly converted into a research center, Dr. Martinez worked with Zivtok and scientists from Earth. The Arathi knowledge had proven valuable beyond expectations, offering new insights into medicine, energy, and space travel. The Arathi believed knowledge should be shared, not hoarded. Olivia told a group of visitors from the Galactic Council. They would be pleased to see species working together. The council representatives nodded. Since the events at Eden, the council had revised many policies. The Ordari Imperium had lost much of its influence. Other species now looked to humans with new respect, not just fear of their weapons. Ambassador William Carter arrived at the celebration, having traveled from Earth for the occasion. The old diplomat looked tired from the journey but pleased with the results. The council has officially named Eden a center for interspecies cooperation, he announced to cheers from the crowd, and the human defensive doctrine has been accepted as legitimate. Peace through preparedness. As evening approached, Alan called for attention. The colonists and their guests gathered around the center of the square. 1 year ago, we faced destruction, Alan said. We survived because we were ready to defend ourselves, but we've thrived because we remained true to our peaceful purpose. He gestured to the colony around them, the farms, homes, school, and research center. We didn't build weapons first, we built homes, we planted crops, we taught our children. Defense was necessary but never our primary goal. Captain Kex Thul stepped forward. The Vexari once feared human weapons. Now we understand. You arm yourselves not because you love war, but because you love peace enough to protect it. As darkness fell, lights illuminated the colony. In orbit, ships from a dozen species maintained peaceful positions. None approached with hostile intent anymore. The reputation of Eden Colony had spread across the galaxy. To our future, Alan toasted, raising a glass of Eden's first wine harvest. To peace, added Zivtok. To being prepared, Lisa said with a slight smile. As stars appeared in Eden's night sky, the colony's lights shone brightly. To passing ships, it looked like any peaceful settlement. But those who knew better understood the truth. The most dangerous force in the galaxy was not aggressive warriors, but peaceful settlers who knew how to defend what they loved. The human colonists slept soundly, armed and peaceful under distant stars.